Do you remember this character? Yes, Pinocchio. Then you must be remember the punishment he used to get? Let's have a clip. Pinocchio, an animated puppet, is punished for each lie that he tells by undergoing further growth of his nose. There are no restrictions on the length of Pinocchio's nose. It grows as he tells lies and at one point grows so long that he cannot even bear that pain, nor get his nose through the door of the room. Now see this image of cartoon show. An honest woodcutter. From this story we have learned to be always be honest. Honesty is always rewarded. So friends, basically what I am focusing and stressing on the word honest. Since childhood we are taught to speak truth and be honest. When we get in the habit of telling small lies, it leads to a habit of telling the big ones. We have to help our little ones develop the right habits, and one of the best habits they can have is being honest. Well, hello, Yasmin here from My Education My Power. Today we'll have another interesting story of honesty called The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse from the book Snapshot Class 11. Entire text will be appearing before you on the screen with the meaning of all the difficult words. Let's get started. William Saroyan was a world-renowned writer of plays, short stories and novels, and one of the most highly esteemed writers of his generation. Saroyan is a hero to the Armenian people in Armenia and the global Armenian diaspora. He was born in Fresno, California, to parents who had immigrated from Bitlis in western Armenia, now a part of Turkey. Saroyan's writing and singular voice bore witness to the immigrant life in early 20th century USA and to the Armenian experience in Fresno in California. Let's see the characters of the story. Aram, he is a narrator, a 9 years old Armenian boy belonging to Garoglanian tribe. Murad, 13 years old cousin of Aram. Khusrav, Aram's and Murad's uncle. Arak, Khusrav's son. Zorab, Murad's father. John Byro, a farmer. Now there are two different pronunciations of Aram and Arak. In Armenian it sounds like Aram and Arak, but in English you may call Aram and Arak. Before we begin, let's discuss the few things about the story. The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse by William Saroyan is the story of two young boys of a reputed Armenian family called Garoglanian. They were cousin brothers Aram and Murad. The Garoglanian was an Armenian family that migrated to California. It had a very old history of existence and people in this family were prosperous and honest. At the time the story happens, the once great family was reduced to poverty, yet the members remained had a reputation for honesty maintained by its family members for hundreds of years. In the very first paragraph, the narrator Aram is saying his childhood story when he was 9 years old, that one night he was asleep and was in the world of extremely beautiful imagination. Suddenly his cousin Murad tapped on the window of his room at 4 o'clock in the morning. He called Aram. Narrator jumped out of his bed and couldn't believe his eyes. It was dawn and there was light enough to see outside, what made him believe that he wasn't dreaming. Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. Aram rubbed his eyes and stuck out his head out of the window. Murad assured him it was not a dream. He asked if he wanted a ride, he must come quickly. Murad was a unique boy who enjoyed being alive, but he couldn't believe that he was seeing a horse in front of him. Aram's dreams to ride a horse like a brave warrior. This was a great opportunity that he was actually going to ride a horse for real. Aram's family was poor and had no money, so it was difficult for him to believe in what he saw outside his house. He belonged to the Garoglanian family that was strictly in poverty. They didn't even know how they managed to get food for themselves every day. Although his tribe was poor, they were known for their honesty for 11 centuries. They were honest, proud, and always believed in right and wrong. No one from their family would ever steal anything or would take advantage of anyone in the world. Aram was so excited that he was seeing a horse that was so pleasant and beautiful. He could smell it and hear it breathing, and still couldn't believe that Murad or anyone in the family could afford a horse. He was thinking if Murad had stolen the horse, but he didn't believe it, as he thought no one in his family could be a thief. He stared at Murad and then at the horse. There was religious motionlessness and wittiness in both Murad and the horse, as one charmed him and the other scared him. He asked Murad if he had stolen the horse, but Murad replied, if he wants a ride, he must jump out of the window. Aram was now sure that horse was stolen by Murad, but he left with two options offered by Murad, whether he chose to ride or would leave it. Now here Aram tried to convince himself that stealing money is a crime, but stealing horse is not a crime, as they were not planning to sell horse or making money out of it. They both were so crazy about riding a horse that Aram jumped down from the window and sat on the horse behind his cousin. Aram lived at the edge of the town on Walnut Avenue behind the country roads. They enjoyed the ride of the horse, which was pretty fast. They felt the pleasant air to breathe. Aram's dreams come true by sitting on the horse. Murad started singing loudly, who was considered one of the craziest members of the family. Here the narrator says that there is one crazy person in every family, and Murad was the one natural descendant of a crazy race in the tribe. Before Murad, Uncle Khusrav was the one huge man with black hair and largest moustache in the valley. He had an energetic, irritating temper and was impatient. He used to make anyone stop talking by shouting with his catchphrase, or you can say Takya Kalam. It is no harm, pay no attention to it. Uncle Khusrav was his own kind, no matter who was there in front of him, no matter what was happening around. Once his own son Arak came running to him when he was getting his moustache trimmed at the barber's shop. Arak told him the house was on fire, to which he shouted and said the same catchphrase, it is no harm, pay no attention to it. Baba was shocked to see and said that it was his own house on fire. Khusrav shouted again and said the same Takya Kalam. Murad was considered to be a natural descendant of this man Khusrav, but he was not his son. His father was Zorab, who was a normal kind man. A child could look like his father but doesn't mean he get his nature and attitude just the same. There are different kinds of people in their tribes, moody and without any settled work or home. They were still riding the horse and Murad was still singing loudly. Then Murad asked him to get down as he wanted to ride alone. Aram asked if he could ride the horse alone. Murad said it is up to the horse if he wants to ride you along. Aram tried to convince him that the horse would let him ride too, in which Murad said that horse would only listen him as he had become horse's good friend. Aram told him that he had it too. Aram got down while telling him that he will ride the horse alone. Murad kicked his heels while sitting on the horse and shouted its name, Wazir. The horse stood on its hind legs, breathed out and ran into a speed. Murad raced the horse across the field of dry grass and irrigation ditches. When he returned 5 minutes later, he was sweating a lot. Then Aram demanded for his own turn to ride alone. Murad got off and Aram sat on the horse. But the horse did not move. Murad tried to guide him by saying that he should try to kick into his muscles and told him that he should hurry because they need to take him back before everyone woke up. Aram kicked into the muscles of the horse, to which the horse again raised and breathed out. The horse began to run and Aram didn't know what to do next. The horse started going towards the road and suddenly Aram fell down. The horse continued to run and left Aram behind. Murad told him that he is not worried about him, but they need to find the horse. They both went different ways to find him. After some time later, they found the horse. Murad was not worried about anything. Then Murad told Aram about a place he knew which would be perfect as a hidden spot. Aram eagerly asked him when he had stole the horse, but got no answer. It appeared to him that Murad had been taking the horse for morning rides for quite some time, and he showed up the horse this morning only. Aram tried to change the question by asking him since how long was he riding the horse. Murad told him that morning was the first morning for him too. Aram was not convinced and asked him if he was telling the truth. Murad said him to consider this to be true, since he did not want to lie to him, so stopped him to ask any further question. Aram agreed and Murad took the horse quietly towards the barn of a deserted vineyard. It belonged to a farmer named Fatwajian. Then they left for home. Murad told Aram that it was not easy to get the horse to behave nicely, as it wanted to run wild at first. He told him again that they become good friends now. Aram amusingly asked him how he controlled the horse, to which Murad said he has an understanding with the horse through a simple and honest gesture. Aram too wanted to be a friend with the horse. Murad assured Aram by saying that he is still a small boy, he will learn when he will become 13. Aram went home and ate breakfast. That day his uncle Khusrav visited his house for coffee and cigarettes. He sat in the parlour and was remembering the old country when a Syrian farmer, John Bairo, came to visit him. He was fond of learning Armenian. Aram's mother bought Bairo some coffee and tobacco. He sipped and smoked and told them about his white horse which was stolen last month and he was not able to find it. Khusrav shouted again with his regular catchphrase, "That's it's no harm, and he should not cry over the lost horse when they had already lost their homeland." John replied to Khusrav that he walked down 10 miles to come here because of his lost horse. Khusrav shouted again and said that God has given legs to walk, to which John said his left leg hurt due to walk long miles. Khusrav again tried to shut him down by saying the same catchphrase, that he should not pay any attention to it. John shared that the horse cost him $60, around 5,000 approximately. Now this time Khusrav irritated him and said he would spit on the money, after which John got up and went away slamming the door behind. Aram's mother told him that John had a gentle heart as he was homesick and he was such a hard-working man, can't sit at home like this. Aram went to Murad. He was sitting under a peach tree talking to a robin bird. He was treating the wing that was hurt. Aram told him about John Bairo and how he visited their house and he wanted his horse back. Aram asked him not to return the horse until he learns to ride it. Murad then told Aram that it will take at least a whole year to learn. Aram said that they could keep for a year then. Murad stood up on his feet and shouted at him about encouraging him to be a thief in spite of being a member of the Garoglanian family. He declared that the horse should go to his own master and would return the horse in 6 months. Murad threw the bird into the air. It almost fell twice but flew at last. For the next 2 weeks they both would take out the horse out of the barn and ride it. But every morning the horse would throw Aram and run away whenever he tried to ride it. He still hoped he would learn to ride it the way his cousin did. Once on the way to the deserted vineyard to hide the horse again, they met John Bairo who was on his way to town. Murad wished him good morning and Bairo saw the horse very carefully. Bairo wished them back and asked the name of the horse. Murad said, "My heart," in Armenian language. Bairo complimented that it was a lovely name for a lovely horse. The farmer examined his lost horse and exclaimed that the horse looked exactly like his own, but he refused to believe that boys had stolen his horse, because a member of Garoglanian family could not steal. Hearing this, the two boys felt extremely guilty for their act of stealing. He wished them and went away. The next morning they took the horse back to John Byro's vineyard and put it in his barn. Murad put his arms around the horse, then pressed his nose into the horse's nose. He patted him and then they went away. That same afternoon John came to Aram's house in his surrey and showed his mother his horse that returned. He said he didn't know what to think as the horse is much stronger now, with a better temper. He thanked God. Uncle Khusrav, who was in the parlour, again shouted irritatingly, "Quiet, man, quiet! Your horse has been returned. Pay no attention to it." So friends, from the story The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse, we learn the significance and necessity of honesty, even in the face of greed and desire. So this story acquaints us with Garoglanian tribe of Armenia. They are famous for their honesty. In terms of honesty, they are the wealthiest tribe in the world. But in terms of money, they are nothing. They go through what we know commercial poverty. They do not have any perfect and fixed earning source. Yet they meet the regular necessities of life. They themselves are even amazed with the fact. The story revolves around the two boys, Murad and Aram, who stole a horse against the reputations of the tribe. They realized the fact and to protect and sustain the reputations of the tribe decided to return the horse to the owner, sacrificing the desire. So friends, this is all for today. Hope you all like the story. See you again with another lesson. Till then, take a very good care of yourself. Bye for now.